The preceding message was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Motorcraft. All kinds of parts for all kinds of cars. Motorcraft for sure. Sylvania, makers of Superset Color TV and a complete line of home entertainment products. And by Transamerica Corporation. Transamerica Corporation offers you first-rate service at a fair price.
Ready to go now, the second half. Eddie Murray kicking off for the Detroit Lions. He tied it up as we ended that first half of play. The deep man is Rich Motti, but it's not a get there. Instead, it's Tony Galbraith trying to come away with it. He finally does, and he comes out of there to the 30. And he's upset at himself because had he not tripped, he had a lot of running room. And so that will set it up at the 30-yard line, and New Orleans, who has played very well defensively in this game, all even with the Detroit Lions.
He had a 16-yard return on that play, but he should be upset because had he broken through there, he would have had a long game.
In that first half of play, Archie Manning, 10 of 13, 134 yards. However, he was sacked 4 times for 29. 3-3 score. Gary Bender along with John Madden. A give to Holmes. Holmes to the 35, and Holmes almost makes it to the 37. A couple of yards short of the first down. Ken Fantetti making the stop. And look at the stats as far as passing is concerned. Well, Lions got the better of that as they did the rushing.
As they did it, that's the one thing that I think the Saints realize, that maybe they aren't going to be the great rushing team that they were a year ago, but by mixture, by throwing on first down and second down and third and running on second, mixing things up, they can still establish something.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Manning on the play action. He has a lot of time, and he tries to hit Ike Harris at the 40-yard line. All kinds of protection. Walt Williams defending on the play for the Detroit Lions.
You see that play again. It starts off as a play pass where they fake the run, the strong side run. Archie does a good job of holding the ball back there. Then he hits Harris on it in, but again, it was a little late and it was a little too high.
Ike Harris, 6'3", going up there, but he just couldn't get up there high enough. Henry Childs now checking in at a tight end. Also coming in is Larry Hardy. So they bring out 2 wide receivers.
I think this will be the first time we'll see this formation, maybe the first time all year where they've shown that, where they have the 2 tight ends
there's Archie's stats for the day on a 3rd down and 3. Gives to Holmes, and Holmes very close to the first down as he comes across the 40-yard line. Crossed him up a little bit on that.
Well, that one crossed me up. When I saw the 2 tight ends come in, what I thought they were thinking is maybe going 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers in a passing thing, but at 3rd and 3, they used as a short yardage. As we see the line here, again, it's an onside guard pull. Emmanuel Sanders coming down. He kicks out the outside on Weaver, and then he's able to get right inside that. That was a block on Stan White, number 52.
Boy, a very well blocked play. First down at the 41-yard line. Saints trying to start this game like they did the first half of play. Manning, and he has Brooks Williams, a tight end, and that'll be another first down to the 45-yard line. Fantetti over to make the stop. Brooks Williams having a very good afternoon, and this is a young man you really haven't heard anything about, playing the shadow of Henry Childs.
He doesn't have the speed that Childs has, and he's not the deep threat, but he's a very hard worker, and he has the ability to block, to find openings, to play against the zone. We see so much zones today that type of receiver can be very beneficial.
14-yard pickup to the 45 of Detroit. 3-3 score, just underway, second half of play. Manning back, steps up. He's trying to hit Chandler. Chandler tripped up over there, but unintentionally. Covering on the play was Williams. They were both going for the ball, so there's no flag on the play. Let's look at it again.
And we'll see Chandler again here. He really didn't get a step. It was really fine coverage. He comes off the line. It's going to be a streak or an up pattern. And we see Walt Williams there run stride for him. And really there was nothing there except a little bump right there at the end.
Looks like Chandler a little shaken up, huh?
I think he may have had his foot stepped on. It looked like his right foot was stepped on.
Tell you one thing, Williams realizes when Chandler heads up the field, he better get on his horse.
And Williams is probably the happiest person in the stadium now when Chandler went off the field.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Manning out throwing again. Williams, the tight end, tries to get loose. And he really gets hammered in. He got away from Stan White. You see Hunter, 28, also Oldham at 23. And he was a sitting duck, and they really unloaded on him.
They did. You know, the thing that the Saints are doing, and Archie Manning, of course, who calls his own plays, is, you know, establishing the run. I never knew what that meant, and I never did like the term, probably because I didn't know what it meant. But I always figure if you establish something, then the defense establishes that, and you can't do it. The best way to get a running game going is by passing. Make the defensive line wide and the linebackers loosen. Then you can run the ball, and that's what Archie Manning's doing today.
3rd down, 8 yards to go. You had to look at the sideline. Danielson wanting to get that football. Manning in real trouble. Fumbles the football. And I believe Detroit has it, and they do. Yet another fumble in this game.
You know, that's one thing that has really hurt both of these quarterbacks today is getting a pass rush is one thing, as we see the rush here. Getting sacked is another. But losing the ball when or while you're getting sacked is something that really hurts. We see that's the 2nd time that Manning has had the ball knocked out of his hand.
And that is the 3rd fumble that they've lost. There is a flag on the play, however. A flag up the field, and that could change the complexion of this. And it's going to go against Detroit.
It is. It was probably holding against the tight end or an illegal chuck.
Holding. Number 59 on the defense. 1st down.
Boy, does that change the complexion. Charlie Weaver, the veteran. Let's see if we can pick up some of this as Baker, number 60.
It was holding on the tight end. See, we have a blitz here, which really makes it tough because now the back has to pick up the linebacker, Stan White, which puts Al Baker man-on-man on a pass rush, and he's tough enough without help. But J.T. Taylor did a nice job on that play.
1st down. A real reversal here. It looked like the 3rd fumble that Manning was to lose, but instead it goes back to them. Strawn is in trouble. And Dave Purifoy from his left defensive end spot just wouldn't let him turn up the field, and they're going to lose yardage. Clear back to the 45-yard line as Manning now will rethink this play. Dave Purifoy is a man who has always been known for his ability to produce the sacks. He had 2 against the Rams earlier this year. He had 7.5 a year ago. And one year in '77, he had 5 sacks in one game against Los Angeles.
He not only had the sack on that play, we're talking about Dave Purifoy, but when he came in there, he knocked the ball out of Archie's hand the same way that Al Baker did in the 1st half. Those 2 people have real quick hands. Notice that?
From the 45 now, 2nd down, 17 yards to go. Manning with time. Ike Harris at the 20 to the 15. He fumbles it again. And who has this one? I don't believe it. Now, wait a minute. One official is saying the ball was dead. The other is indicating it's Detroit's. Let's go back on this
I
isolation.
don't think the ball was dead because Ike Harris had the reception, and we'll see it again because we had him isolated on that play. We started here. We see the bump there by Oldham. Now he runs it in. The ball gets here. He has the ball right now. He has control. So if it comes in and it fumbles right there, that should be Detroit's ball, or the ball was down there. But that was not an incomplete pass.
Well, that's what they're saying, John.
No way. No way. Nope.
Well, back to the 45-yard line is where it will be. I guess the thing, it would have either been Detroit's football down there, or it was not a fumble. That's the way you had to look at it.
Yeah, right. Or say that the whistle blew before he fumbled. It had to be one of those 2 things, but the ball should have stayed down there, and it was either Detroit's ball or New Orleans' ball. I would say it was Detroit's ball.
Tony Galbraith is in the backfield now with Mike Strawn. 3rd down, 17. A very unusual start to the 2nd half of play. Manning with Mendenhall giving chase to Galbraith. What a move by Galbraith. Galbraith to the 40, weaves his way to the 37. Now they're back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's all. But what a job by Galbraith in the open field getting additional yardage.
This game reminds me of that baseball game yesterday, where anything that can happen is going to. We see Archie scramble here. Again, he got the ball to Galbraith, who makes a little move there, gets the ball up the field, and they just did gain a little of it back, and they still have to punt.
There's Erxleben. You see his average. It's above his seasonal average. He's going for the corner. He got it very high. No, he's not going for the corner. He just hit it right down the middle. There's a flag as that will go in for the touchback. we may have an ineligible man downfield because the flag thrown in the vicinity of the 15-yard line. Herxleben that time trying to hang it high enough, did not angle it for the corner as we anticipated. A little discussion going on out there.
Of course, on the punt coverage, that'll be a first down.
It sure will. It's against Detroit.
The Saints will get the ball back. That's probably that and pass interference are probably the most costly penalties in football.
I would imagine if that was happening to your team right now, you'd be out there trying to figure out why and when.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out, and it's not my team. But what happened was it must have been after the ball was kicked.
By the receivers, number 44. It'll be 1st and 10.
Okay, Red, now explain the rest of it. That's Red Cashin. Now, it must have been after the ball was kicked, the holding came up. Had it been before the ball was kicked, then it would be a first down for the Saints.
That's Wayne Smith, who was guilty of holding. We have a timeout.
Motorcraft for sure. Motorcraft for sure.
How do you make the great lineup of Motorcraft parts even better? You've already got batteries with sure power, hot firing spark plugs, and a full line of filters. So how do you make it better? Just add oil. Introducing Motorcraft Oil, formulated to stabilize oxidation and reduce wear. Rated SF, it meets the most advanced engineering standards set for the 80s. You can be sure of it.
Motorcraft for sure.
Our director, Bob Fishman, had this isolation a while ago on Ike Harris on that controversial play, which was ruled an incomplete pass.
But we'll see it here again, and we'll see where he catches the ball right there. Now he has control. Now he's hit. Now that causes the fumble. So that should have either been the Lions' ball or, had the whistle blown earlier, the Saints' ball.
And now with the ball instead, the Detroit Lions, Billy Sims on a first down, getting it out close to the 13-yard line. Well, the Lions, who started this year out just scoring a bunch of points, 41, 29, 27. Last week scoring 28, just can't seem to get this offense going. You have to give a lot of credit to New Orleans.
You do. They've had a swarming defense today, and you just don't have the feeling that the Detroit Lions have really gotten started offensively yet today.
Not untracked as we come to a 2nd and 7. 9.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. This is Sims, and Sims to the 19, close to the first down. Boy, that Billy Sims is tough. You have said something interesting about him, John. He really protects himself as a runner.
Well, he does. You know, he gets down low. I think he's a natural runner in that he's naturally built low and solid to the ground. And when he makes a turn, he doesn't have his feet out of the ground for a long time. His feet are in the ground. He has a solid base, and he never gets hit in those elongated situations, as we see someone who did get hurt, Jim Kovac.
He's the man that started in place of Joe Fetterspiel at middle linebacker, second-year man. Timeout. We're still all even.
When you can borrow money for the things you need, when you need them.
That's Transamerica Financial.
That's Transamerica. When you go to the movies, and you're glad you did.
It's United Artists.
That's Transamerica. When your property is well insured and your independent agent is understanding.
That's Transamerica Insurance.
The many companies in the Transamerica family all stand for just one thing. First-rate service at a fair price. That's Transamerica.
We're doing something about it.
We're working at making our energy last.
Sunoco wants to make every drop count for America. That's why we have a new pump for unleaded gas. It has 4 grades of unleaded, including economy, priced below our regular, which can save money for you and fuel for America.
We're doing something about it. Sunoco is making every drop count.
Well, they're looking over Jim Kovac, who's a medical student at the University of Pennsylvania in the offseason. Second-round draft pick, should say second-year man from Kentucky. And he is out of there now, and the veteran Joe Fetterspiel has replaced him. Third down, less than a yard to go for Detroit. 3-3 our score. They get the first down and then some. Billy Sims, and Sims almost had that ball jarred loose again as he gets out to the 32-yard line.
Right there at the end. I've always felt that there's something to playing on the carpet that does cause some fumbles. A ball will joil out, as we see here. Sims had it away as he went through the line. Then right at the end, the Saints were grabbing at the ball, and they darn near grabbed that one out.
Billy Sims now started to mount some yardage at the 32, first down. Two receivers split to the top of the screen. There's his rushes, 52. Danielson, lots of time. Hits Dexter Bussey, and Bussey out at the 41-yard line. Bussey at the 41, and that's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
You know, when you have a Billy Sims in the backfield and a Dexter Bussey, the play pass is a real effective weapon, because if they want to stay off and play the pass, then you can just run those two all day. If they get up there tight to stop Sims, then you fake to Sims, and then you can throw it out to your tight end, your wide receivers, or your running backs.
John, we have another center in there now for the Lions. Willie Parker's come in, replacing Tommy Ginn, and that was a problem a week ago on the snaps. This is Dexter Bussey again. He has a first down across the 45. Look at this job. Dexter Bussey, who for the last 5 years has led the Detroit Lions in rushing, gets outside. He's into the Saints end of the field at the 48-yard line.
And that's that same counterplay that we saw in the first half. Bussey was a halfback last year. Now they told him he's a fullback, and he's running like a fullback, like a runaway freight.
There's John Mendenhall from Grambling, a former Giant, Packer, and now a very happy Detroit Lion.
He said that was a pretty good play. Not bad.
Like that. He gave it the up sign all the way. First down now. 7:26 to go. Third quarter, and end round reverse to Scott. He gets a block. Tommy Hart is taken out. Scott to the 30, to the 25, the 20. Scott being chased by Chapman. He is in for the touchdown.
That may be the play that this team needed to get it started. The action they have here, the crowd, we're going to see it again. It starts off on a sweep, then he hands back to Scott coming to the outside, who got a real good block here. You know who made one of those blocks? That was a quarterback. Gary Danielson made a block there. And then Scott makes a nice open field run, and that excites these 80,000 people here today.
Freddie Scott, and you can see the speed that he has. Chapman caught him at the goal line. But it was Gary Danielson who took out Tommy Hart. He threw the first block that really got that play underway.
I didn't know quarterbacks did that. I never even talked about that with a quarterback, let alone see one do it.
Eddie Murray on the point after attempt. And the Detroit Lions have taken the lead. They lead this game 10-3 as Scott with a big play, something the Lions had early in this season.
That caterer with all the things for the wedding.
We had a lot to get.
Many businessmen today are going for the out front design 81 Ford van. It has unbeaten gas mileage ratings.
Is that your only truck? Where's the tent, the food, the chairs?
Don't worry, ma'am.
Okay, guys, let's go.
And Ford is also the load champ with more capacity than any other regular body van. Honest. Yes, Ford has made toughness and mileage into a happy marriage.
We want to make you smile.
I'd play to his backhand.
We're gonna make you smile.
Holiday Inn offers you the widest choice of the most popular resort locations.
I saw that.
Come to Holiday Inn where your smile says we're number one in people pleasing.
Next Saturday, they're on the muscle for the title in the World's Strongest Men competition. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Boy, this place is bedlam right now, as there's the man that caused it. Freddie Scott, a 48-yard run. He says, I don't know how I did that.
Looks like I don't even know what that one was. I'm supposed to catch passes, not run with it. That's what they hired Billy Sims for.
48 yards. There's the deep man, Rich Motti. He's second in the NFC in kickoff returns. He's going to get a good return on this one. 20, 25, 30. He is all the way out to the 37-yard line. Making the stop, John Arnold. So the Saints trailing for the first time in this football game. Watching the game in the ballpark here. This is a beautiful place, isn't it?
They have the best of both worlds, don't they? About 3 worlds. They're inside, they're watching the game live and on television. That's not a bad deal.
30-yard return that time by Rich Motti. Manning thus far is 13 of 19, 158 yards. Boy, this crowd is alive now. Strawn and Galbraith in the backfield for New Orleans. Galbraith and going nowhere. John Mendenhall, who we saw on the sideline a while ago, that time just standing there waiting on Tony Galbraith. Going to lose a little yardage on the play, and this crowd, you know, that holds the sound in here. This roof is 202 feet above the playing surface, and you get 80,000 plus in here, and you really have a lot of noise.
Is that why we never get a shot from the blimp?
It could be out there and we never know it. It could be doing anything outside and we wouldn't know it right now. Second down, 12, a loss of 2. Crowd just ignited by that run by Fred Scott. Manning trying to stem some of that enthusiasm, gets it off, dropped by Strawn. Manning limping clear back at the goal line. He's had to get back so quickly. It's fortunate he didn't get sacked for a long loss, but he was limping as he returned. Now seems to have shaken it off. Boy, he has had to really maneuver back there the way that silver rush has been pouring in.
Both of these quarterbacks have had their work cut out for them today. It hasn't been an easy type of thing. They haven't been able to stand back there and throw. They've been running for their lives all day.
Manning was sacked 4 times in the first half. Third down conversions for the Saints, 2 of 6 thus far. Third down and 12. Manning, and he tried to hit Strawn over the middle. Nothing doing, and the Saints are going to have to get rid of the football. And John, you always wonder how much a crowd can help a football team. And boy, right now they're trying their best to help the Lions.
Well, and you always wonder which causes which. Does the players or the play excite the crowd, or does the crowd excite the players? Today, here in the Silverdome, the crowd has been excited by the players.
Here is Erxleben as you look at John Arnold. Erxleben kicking. Arnold going to make the fair catch at the 30-yard line. And so the Lions with a 10-3 lead. Exactly 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And Detroit, who'd like to maintain that 2-game lead in the NFC Central Division.
Roll on in, America, to Sears First Automotive Savings Rally. Save 10 to 40% and get some of our lowest prices of the year on tires, shocks, batteries, and much, much more. There's heavy-duty jumper cables, $7.88, save $5. A battery charger, $29.88, save $10. A floor jack, $44.88, save $25. At the Sears Automotive Savings Rally. Don't miss it. Sears, where America shops for value.
10th frame. The odds were 12,000 to 1, but anchorman Lefty Pinder beat the odds.
Looks like a stroll-light night.
Looks like a stroll-light night.
Stroll-light night. When things are going right. Looks like a stroll-light night. Looks like a stroll-light night.
Stroll-light, a great tasting beer that doesn't fill you up.
Looks like a stroll-light night when good times come along.
Catch a sneak preview of The White Shadow as he returns to New York for an unforgettable reunion with his friends and father. The highly acclaimed White Shadow, a special preview on a special night, Thursday.
Let's check some other scores now on late starting games. And Cleveland leads Seattle 13-3. And Seattle has been playing so well. And Kansas City won their first last week. And Houston. And there, the Jets, well, they might be on their way to their first win. And now San Diego has tied up that game with Oakland. Some very interesting games out west. Lions on first down, and Derlin Moore, number 74, just gobbled up that play. No gain on it. Sims hit. And it'll bring up second down. The Lions with a 10-3 lead. The big difference, a 48-yard run on an end-around reverse by Freddie Scott.
We talked about the Saints defense. We talked about Tommy Hart, but another one that's been doing a fine job in there is number 74, Derlin Moore. He's made some big plays for that Saint defense.
Second down, they gave him a yard. 2nd and 9. Receivers, top of the screen and the bottom. The bottom is Scott. Danielson to Sims. And Sims, 2 hard-earned yards. And that's all to the 34. And it's been very, very tough in the middle of that Saints defense. And here is a final. Minnesota defeating Chicago. And Chicago, after that big win Monday night, losing to the Vikings. Vikings played Pittsburgh tough a week ago. Of course, Pittsburgh losing to Cincinnati. It's tough to figure, isn't it?
As we see the huddle here, the Saints are coming up with 6 defensive backs.
Los Angeles defeating St. Louis, and now the Rams are starting to kind of solidify themselves the top of that NFC West. 3rd down, 6. Danielson with grooms all over him. There's the man that Dick Nolan is so high on. Eloy Grooms, he says he's our best defensive lineman.
He says that what he likes about him is he's a steady performer. No matter what the score is, what the situation is, he always gets everything he has from Eloy Grooms. That play was a 6 defensive back. They blitzed the linebackers and forced them to the outside to Eloy Grooms.
That's Reggie Mathis, 56, Oklahoma product, 2nd-year man, 2nd-round draft pick a year ago. Shaken up on the play.
He was one of the blitzing linebackers.
And so on 4th down, Skladany will go back to kick. Also looks like Keith Dorney was shaken up for the Detroit Lions, their excellent offensive tackle. Mathis started off. Now they got to help him off a little more as Stan Holloway, the rookie from California who started this game at linebacker, is over there. I tell you, these two teams have really teed off on each other here this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, we're talking about the crowd. One way to quiet a crowd is to play well. The Saint defense have done that.
There's Motti, young man, one of the most popular players ever to play in New Orleans. Standing inside the 35, a Skladany from the 5. And you look now from the ground level at what Skladany is facing. Snap was not all that good. Motti coming up. Oh, he's hit before he could catch the ball. It's picked up by Waymer. Dave Waymer saves it, but you've got to give Motti a chance to catch the football. And flying down there.
And there'll be a flag on that play because, you say, even though it's not a fair catch, they still have to give him an opportunity to catch the ball. They cannot interfere with his right to catch the ball, and he didn't have time. We'll see it again. The snap wasn't good. Had there been a rush on, they may have gotten a block on that play. But watch as Motti receives the ball here, see, he didn't have an opportunity to catch the ball. He was hit before the ball arrived.
That's Leonard Thompson, 39, who got down there, again showing the enthusiasm for which these two teams are playing. Waymer fortunately came up with it. Of course, the penalty will go against Detroit anyway. But that's right. Even though you do not call for the fair catch, you have to have the opportunity to catch the football.
That's what Detroit is arguing about. They're saying he didn't call for a fair catch, and they're right. He didn't, but it really doesn't make any difference.
We've had some controversy in this game, haven't we?
It's like the baseball game yesterday.
I keep coming back to that.
Yeah.
Well, they got to step off 15 yards, it looks like.
There's Red Cash and the referee.
Interference with the opportunity to make the catch by the kickers. It's 1st and 10.
So now the Saints have it at the 41-yard line. Excellent field position and trailing 10-3. San Francisco, holy cow, that's their 3rd straight loss. Dallas is really playing well now.
I think the scoreboard worked today.
There's Archie Manning rolling to Galbraith. Galbraith stays on his feet, and he is all the way to the 35-yard line. Very good balance that time by the former Missouri standout.
You know, one of the things that the Lions do the best is they rush the passer very well, with or without a blitz. There was a blitz on that play. So one of the things that the Saints want to do, instead of getting in a regular drop back, move the pocket around and go right and left.
Now that's Dorney, the man we mentioned that was shaken up. He was their #1 draft pick a year ago out of Penn State.
They're probably going to put some more tape on his ankle. Looked like he twisted his ankle.
A gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Ike Harris in motion. Galbraith, I don't know if he got it or not. stuffed in a hurry by John Mendenhall, 64. Mendenhall in his 9th year. He was an all-NFC pick in 1974 for the Giants. Then things just went sour on him. He wanted out of New York. The Packers didn't feel he had a position. And so he came over here, and Monty Clark couldn't be happier, because when Doug English decided to become a millionaire in the oil business, they needed somebody there.
I'll tell you, it's been a good move. I think with Dave Purifoy and John Mendenhall, we talked about Stan White, we talked about Ray Oldham, these veterans that they picked up. I think that's part of the story of Detroit Lions' success.
Now, what's this all about?
Face mask, number 40 on the defense, first down.
That's Jimmy Allen, the Spider-Man, a free safety. And so the first down inside the 30, and I'll tell you, the Saints are getting some help from the penalty department now. So when Galbraith was dropped, apparently short of the first down, the face mask gave them the first down.
And listen to the crowd now.
Not as loud, are they?
Nope.
Chandler, and now Rich Motti has come in at a wide receiver for New Orleans. Manning to throw. Wes Chandler. Chandler down inside the 20, and that'll be a first down catch. The Saints are coming back. Manning again took a shot on that play and getting up slowly. Archie had his nose broken earlier this year in a game with the Chicago Bears. And a team that allowed only 17 sacks last year has had a tough time protecting number 8 this year.
Well, they didn't. They had a lot of help that time on the defense. Again, it was a safety blitz where a strong safety, Ray Oldham, came on that play.
A lot of penalties.
Both sides.
2.5 minutes to go. Third quarter. First down. The ball at the 18 of Detroit. The Lions leading by 7. There's a delay to Galbraith. Galbraith to the 10. Galbraith to the 6. First and goal for the New Orleans Saints. And Galbraith, I think, is wanting to get that starting job back. Ray Oldham made the stop that time for the Lions.
You know, Galbraith really hadn't gotten himself started this year, and this may be the type of thing that he needs. Archie Manning has done a good job of play calling. He's been throwing on first down, rolling. That time, after they expected some first down pass, he ran a draw on first down. Excellent call.
2 tight ends are in now. Williams and Hardy. First and goal at the 6-yard line. Strawn cuts it inside to the 3. Dave Purifoy over to make the stop. Well, Galbraith is just a complete back. He's the man who can catch the football, he can run with the football, and the guy that just carried the ball, Strawn, vastly underrated. He was having a super rookie year, and then he broke an ankle. He hasn't maybe gotten back all of that agility from that injury. He's a straight-up runner, but he's a tough guy, and that's where they have him now in this goal line situation.
Yes, and of course he had the ankle, and then Chuck Muncie came along also.
Not a bad player to try to beat out. Second and goal now at the 3. Manning on a bootleg, and he's going to lose a yard. Back to the 4. James Hunter, but also look at 52, Stan White. You could tell that White wasn't fooled at all on that play.
Well, that was really too far out to run that play. That's where you fake a trap and you bootleg an option type of thing. And I always had a rule for that play that it had to be inside the 2-yard line. And you have to get them in a gap goal line where the defense is selling out on defense. Then you fake the run. They all come to the end.
Makes it 10-9. That's his second touchdown catch of the year. Boy, he's almost impossible to stop on that kind of play.
He was in that situation. They only had one back in the backfield. They spread the formation out, which caused a one-on-one coverage there. It was just a slant. He started to the inside. Manning raised up and hit him right now. But I like that formation. They didn't have 2 backs in the backfield. They only had one. They spread the Lion defense out on the goal line. It's very difficult.
Ricardo now going to try to tie it up. Tommy Myers to hold. John Hill now wants another football, I believe. He's the man that will snap the ball.
He wants it turned. That's what he wants. You see the laces. Well, he does want a new one. You know why? It probably had stickum on it. But see, they can't turn that ball when it gets down there, so they'll ask the umpire before the game to have the laces up or to the side or underneath. But that time, John Hill did want a new ball.
Ricardo trying to tie it up, and Benny Ricardo does. He adds to a 46-yard field goal that he had earlier in this game. We're all even again as Archie Manning hitting Wes Chandler for 6 points.
On the American road today is an automobile with remarkable dimensions in electronics and technology. Like electronic control of vital engine functions, including electronic fuel injection for efficiency and performance. Like a computer-analyzed design for maximum room and comfort without extra weight. Like an automatic overdrive transmission for excellent highway mileage. This fine car is not from the test tracks of Europe. This is an American automobile called Lincoln. Lincoln Town Car 1981. A fine sense of tradition, remarkable achievements in technology.
You take a look at this beautiful $55.7 million structure. And it's all even again. 10-10. It was tied at halftime 3-3. There's the man who just tied it up, Benny Ricardo. And against his former teammates, he's enjoying this as Calicut. Number 31, 32, Rick Kane back for Detroit. Gary Bender with John Madden, and we have a dandy on hand here today. This is going to be Rick Kane, and Kane at the 7. Kane to his picket line to the 25, 30, look out, 45, 50, 40, 35 to the 31-yard line of New Orleans. Rick Kane out of San Jose State almost broke it. The man who kicked off, Benny Ricardo, was over there. He was assisted by Ricky Ray, and that gets you some field position in a hurry.
Watch Rick Kane here. He starts to the middle to bring him in and then gets to the outside. He picks up a good block right there. Then he's able to get up. He really doesn't have a defender in front of him, and he comes across and Ricardo gets across and has to get the tackle. This is the first game that Rick Kane has been returning kickoffs.
61 yards on that play to the 31. That's right. They had John Arnold back there earlier, and now Kane, he may keep that job now. Keith Dorney is back in at offensive tackle. Tommy Ginn, Parker's in there, Elias, as they've had to make some changes in that offensive line. On first down, Danielson, Leonard Thompson, and Thompson has it at the 13-yard line. First down. That time Danielson had time to throw, and he took advantage of it. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. The New Orleans Saints 10, the Detroit Lions 10. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Tuesday, a reunion beckons a man back to his high school girlfriend. But it's her teenage daughter who ends up stealing his heart. Reunion, a television premiere, Tuesday night.
This is CBS.
Gary Danielson, 12 of 17 in the game, including this 19-yard strike to Leonard Thompson.
He started a little confusion here. He had the motion, the tight end in motion to get the secondary away. Then he went play pass, found Thompson in the middle.
Danielson 168 yards. Look at that, Oakland. Boy, San Diego lose 2 in a row. That would be something, wouldn't it? Wow. Losing to Buffalo last week. First down at the 13 of New Orleans as we start the fourth quarter. 10-10 our score. Dexter Bussey. Bussey inside the 10, maybe the 9-yard line. Again, they haven't had that operating room in the middle that they would prefer. Jesse Thompson coming out. Leonard Thompson coming in. Quite a story on this Jesse Thompson. He had Reiter's disease. He lost 60 pounds, missed all of last year, and he's battled back to share that receiving spot with Leonard Thompson.
Right, he shares it. Leonard Thompson and Jesse Thompson alternate, and they call plays. They send the plays in with the two Thompsons.
Crowd, they wanted to be quiet, so Danielson can call the snap. Here's Sims. Sims, 5, touchdown. Boy, did he get in there in a hurry. Sims, look at this.
Look at that move that he had. That's the jump up with the ball between the legs. One thing about Billy Sims, when he gets close to the goal line, he really has a nose for that thing, and he is going to get it in there, which he did there. I wonder if we'll be able to see here at the end that move that he had. That was a new one in the NFL.
They'll have to put a label on that, and the fans love it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's an explosive runner.
25-year-old rookie from Oklahoma. Going in. And now the point after attempt by Ed Murray. And Murray makes it 17-10 in favor of Detroit. So a game that was 3-3 at halftime, we're starting to have some offensive fireworks as we look at Sims again. Look at the way he just bounces off of Tommy Myers to take it in.
Watch out, winter's almost here, and wind's gonna get you, and cold's gonna get you, and high fuel bills are gonna get you, because you still haven't added more insulation to your attic. So do it now. Get more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation and add another layer to put your house in the pink. See your dealer or contractor. Buy more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now, before winter gets you.
The Yankees won 22 World Series. No other teams come close. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. No other teams come close. American Airlines has been the #1 choice for domestic travel in 3 straight surveys of frequent flyers. No other airlines won even once. The main reason we won, service, and the American team that delivers it.
We're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
In 2 weeks, see same-day coverage of Mike Weaver's WBA Heavyweight Championship defense against second-ranked Harry Coetzee, Saturday, October 25th on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Eddie Murray to kick off. The Lions on top 17-10, 84's Rich Motti. That's what Murray does. He gets him so high. You got to wait a long time on him. Motti's got it out to the 20, and he rips it out to the 25-yard line. Making the stop was Eddie Cole, second-year man from Mississippi. You know, we talk about this place being completely domed, but the sunlight a moment ago was breaking through, much to the surprise of everyone as they looked around. What a beautiful facility this is, and of course Super Bowl 1982 will be right here.
It is beautiful, and I saw that sunlight on the field. I had no idea where it came from. Look at that. I wonder if the sun can get in your eyes in here.
There's that last drive. Of course, the long drive set up by the 61-yard kickoff return by Rick King. And then Sims from 9 yards out. And again, the Saints have to play some catch-up football. From the 25, John Hill, the center, Manning on first down to throw, has the time to do it. Wes Chandler, he has it at the 49 of Detroit. And bang, just like that, they have the field position and they're on the move again. Walt Williams defending on the play.
Walt Williams really played off of Wes Chandler on that play. He was about 10 or 12 yards deep, and Chandler had all kinds of room to work in front of him. And of course, you can't give Chandler that much room. I'm surprised that Archie hasn't gone to Wes Chandler a little more than he has in this game. But it's not over yet.
Atlanta has tied up the Jets 7-7. That was a 27-yard pass completion. The Saints, with that offense that they've been known for, has returned in the second half of this game. They are moving the football. This is Strawn. Strawn has a little hole, and he's inside the 45. Pick up a 5 yards on the play.
That's what we were talking about earlier. I really feel the way to establish, and I don't like that word, but the way to get a running game going is by passing and mixture. You know, get him to loosen up, which Archie has done now. You see, he came out, he passed the big one to Wes Chandler on first down. Then the Detroit Lions defense is playing loose. Then, boom, he hits him with the run and picks up 5 yards. Trying to run every time on first down just doesn't work.
Still almost 13 minutes left in this game. Second down, 5. Strawn again. Strawn dances to the 40-yard line. That'll be 1.5 yards short of the first down. Charlie Weaver. Weaver, in the estimation of Coach Monty Clark, is playing better than he ever has in his life. 10-year veteran out of USC.
J.T. Taylor's talking a little there. They had a little extracurricular activity after the play, but he's okay and back in the huddle now.
Jimmy Rogers now comes in at running back, replacing Strawn. Rogers was a man that played with Billy Sims at Oklahoma. In fact, he started 3 games while playing for the Sooners. Then he sustained an injury, never did get his starting job back. He's number 41 along with Galbraith.
I bet they go to him.
Manning on a 3rd down, a long yard to go. And here's Galbraith, and you can see he had enough for the first down to the 34-yard line. Fantetti made the stop, and gives some credit to that offensive line.
You sure did, because that wasn't an easy short yardage to pick up. It was really a long way to go in a short yardage situation. Again, it was the same play where the on-guard Fred Sturt kicked out on the linebacker. Galbraith was able to get through there and make up the first down very easily.
That's Lafari along with Sturt on that right side of that offensive line. First down from the 34 on a first down. Manning, Chandler, 20, 15. He cuts back at the 10. Oh, is he something? First and goal there for the New Orleans Saints. James Hunter saved it from going in for 6 points.
He is something because he can go all the way on any play again, but Walt Williams is playing too deep. He has to get up there. See where 21 is? He's given way too much of a cushion to Chandler, and then they're not getting the linebackers out there to help out in underneath coverage.
24-yard pass completion. And look at Cleveland now. What happened to the Seahawks? Hard to figure. This has been a very, very unusual Sunday afternoon. First and goal at the 10. Manning on the first down to Galbraith. Galbraith to the 10. Galbraith is going to drag a tackler to the 5-yard line, and what tenacity on his part. Hunter finally rides him down, and Tony Galbraith, well, I think he's going to be the starting back next week.
I think so. They were waiting for Tony to do something, to come out of it, to get started, and this game and this day may be what he needed. I wouldn't be surprised if someplace down here, as we watch Dick Nolan, he's probably thinking about the same thing, someplace down here that they may not throw that slant again to Wes Chandler. I would. I'd throw it twice. I'd throw it right now, and if it were incomplete, I'd come back and throw it right on the next down again.
Well, they scored the other time from 4 yards out. They marked the ball at the 6. Second and goal there. 17-10, Detroit with the lead. Galbraith gets about a yard, and maybe not even that. Good reaction by Stan White. I tell you that White has made a couple of very key plays in this game. They run at that veteran, and he's been equal to it. Getting up very slowly, one of the Lions, that's Mendenhall. Looks like he'll be all right, but he's limping a little. There he is. So it's third and goal at the 5.
The last time they were in this situation, when they did score the touchdown to Chandler on the slant, they only had one back in the backfield. They lined up in a double wing. It'll be interesting to see if they're doing it again, which they are. They're in the same formation. We can anticipate the slant.
Harris, Chandler split out. Third and goal at the 5. Manning looking. Ike Harris back there. Incomplete. Walt Williams hand fighting Ike Harris. Williams had the inside coverage on this.
Again, we'll see the formation. Up on top, Chandler was running a slanter and in, and Archie opted to go to Ike Harris in the corner of the end zone. Good defense.
And so, on fourth down, coming in will be Ricardo. He can whack it down to 4 points. There's Benny, 1 of 1.
With 9 minutes to go, that's plenty of time, and they should kick the field goal because they'll get the ball again.
Ricardo 6 of 6 for the year. Myers to hold. 9:01 left in this game, and he adds 3 points. So now 17-13. The Saints don't get 7 points, but they're very, very close with still almost 9 minutes left to play.
JCPenney's incomparable MCS Series 45-watt receiver and 3-way linear phase speakers. One sound will tell you all you need to know about their specs. One look will show you what a great buy they are at $749.85. But look again. Right now, these incredible components are on sale as a package for an unbelievable $499. JCPenney's MCS Series 45-watt receiver and linear phase speaker sale. The value is crystal clear.
Motorcraft for sure. Motorcraft for sure.
How do you make the great lineup of Motorcraft parts even better? You've already got batteries with sure power, hot firing spark plugs, and a full line of filters. So how do you make it better? Just add oil. Introducing Motorcraft Oil, formulated to stabilize oxidation and reduce wear. Rated SF, it meets the most advanced engineering standards set for the 80s. You can be sure of it.
Motorcraft for sure.
Next Saturday, see top U.S. skaters take a spin for world honors at the World Roller Skating Championships. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Benny Ricardo after a 22-yard field goal, capping a 71-yard drive. As you look now at Kane and Calicut. Kane the last time returned to kickoff, 61 yards. And this will be Kane again from the 6. Kane gets to the wall, and he's out across the 30 to 31. And boy, he has done a commendable job for Detroit in the kickoff department. Joe Campbell over to make the tackle. Now with that 4-point lead, the Detroit Lions, and still a lot of time. That last drive, very, very well executed by Archie Manning. Took 5:15. A 24-yard return that time by Kane, setting it up at the 30-yard line. I tell you, the Saints are better than an 0-5 football team. You look back at the way they lost to San Francisco and Miami, and here they are playing Detroit to the wire. Danielson on first down. Pressure. He is hit hard. Gets the ball away. And is that a catch? No, Scott did not get it. Freddie Scott arguing, but that'll be to no avail. And Danielson was really pelted that time when he released the football.
That's right. Scott didn't catch the ball, but Danielson sure caught something.
These two guys are going to really feel it tomorrow, aren't they?
I am very impressed with the Saints rush. As we look here, see what happens. The ball hits the ground before he gets it.
I think it did hit the ground. Bob Fishman, the director who put the replay up, doesn't know now.
Oh, I'm not as sure as I was when I saw it the first time.
That's what we argued about yesterday in baseball. Here comes Sims. Look at that low center of gravity, and he's going to drag tacklers for a first down. Great effort. Billy Sims running so low to the ground that time, and just sheer determination picks up a first down to the 41-yard line.
We were talking to Billy Sims the other day about style of running, and he says he really doesn't think that he has a style, and I offered maybe running low. I think if there's anything that separates him from most runners is how low he is. And let's look at that trap again. Now, maybe...
I think it hit.
Do you?
Yep. I'll vote for a trap. Of course, you guys disagreed with me yesterday. There's Keith Dorney firing off. Dorney's really limping around out there, and this time he fires off. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Sims now has 76 yards on 17 carries. Let's go back and look at this offside on Detroit.
He limped off sides. One thing that this group gets a little anxious when they have Billy Sims back there, as we say.
Number 70 on the offense, still first down.
It was going to be a handoff to Billy Sims to that side. Keith Dorney got a little excited and left before the ball was snapped.
1st and 15 now from the 36, and they're probably the same play they'd called before. Sims, the ball evidently loose again. I tell you, got to be aware in this game. We've had so many fumbles. And evidently nothing doing, as it will bring up now a 2nd down.
We were talking about Billy Sims, and one thing, this offensive line of the Lions has really improved. Carl Baldischweiler, Homer Elias, Tommy Ginn now, a rookie, Russ Bollinger, Keith Dorney. But the thing is, sometimes the guy running behind you can improve a line, and I think that's a big part of their improvement is Billy Sims.
2nd down, 14 yards to go. 7:13 left in the game. And not a lot developing on that play. Tommy Hart, 53, Groom, 78, and a little pushing and shoving going on. The intensity has really been something in this game.
They forgot to block Tommy Hart. And he's tough enough when you block him, but when you don't block him, he'll make a play, I'll guarantee that.
You know, he averaged 15 sacks in 8 years with the 49ers, played for Monty Clark as well as Dick Nolan. He was sent over from Chicago on a really interesting thing. past considerations. In other words, I guess as a favor, Van Hart has made the starting lineup and has played well today.
If you were a nice guy at one time, you owe someone something, so you give them a player later.
3rd down and 12. The Saints would like to shut it down here. Danielson wants to keep it moving. As his man Sims. Sims has a first down, and look at him roar his head. Billy Sims made a tough catch, and then like a rocket took off from there, and he has a first down inside the 45-yard line.
And that was a big first down, because with 6 minutes left to go, the Lions needed some first downs. They can't give the ball back to the Saints, and this is one way to control the ball. Of course, getting it to him isn't a bad idea. Anytime, any way you can. Very exciting player.
You know, they weren't sure that he could catch the football because he didn't in college, but you see plays like that and you know he could catch a football. He's a natural.
Here's an interesting score. Kansas City 21, Houston 20 in the 4th quarter.
That was a 21-yard pickup to the 44-yard line of New Orleans. Danielson first down, scrambling out of there. He takes off to the 30, to the 25, 20, 15. He's all the way to the 15-yard line. Gary Danielson. Boy, when he takes off, he takes off.
I don't know what that other thing was, but Danielson's run was sure exciting. I'll tell you, you need that from a quarterback. Not a scramble, but Detroit needed something to get him back, to get him going again. And this guy is sure impressive. They thought he'd go down there. He made a little fake, a move, and then right back up the field. And he's not known to be a runner.
31 yards by Danielson. And the Lions at the 4:49 mark have a first down at the 12. Sims gets away to the 10. Sims to the 6-yard line. Ray Brown, the strong safety, up to make the stop. Sims approaching that 100-yard day.
This is what a great running back does. We see here they allowed a little penetration. You see Tommy Hart there, but a great running back can allow some penetration, run around it, run over a few and by a few.
At the 6. 2nd down, 4. They can get a 1st and goal at the 1.5 yards. Danielson trying to get some quiet. Very, very noisy, and there's Dorney firing off again. That's twice he's done it. Boy, it's so noisy right now. I'm sure it's hard to hear the snap count, but Dorney twice on this series has fired off.
And I'll tell you one person that's not happy at all with that is Monty Clark, because you talk about a coach that likes discipline and likes everything done one way, his way, the right way. It's Monty Clark, and he doesn't like that. I'm sure that he's
false start. Number 70 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
He said, 1, I won't accept. 2, I sure as heck don't like at all.
Monty Clark played 11 years. He was quite an offensive lineman for Cleveland. He was talking about Jimmy Brown, who used to run behind him like Sims does behind Dorney now.
He said he proved that if you have a great running back, anyone can block.
2nd and 9. Sims, there's the man we're talking about. He gets back to about the 6-yard line, and it comes to a 3rd down. A very important 3rd down. Ray Brown making the stop along with Stan Holloway, number 51, the free agent rookie out of California. And so Jesse Thompson comes out. Leonard Thompson comes in with the play. And the Lions, 3rd down. They have 4 yards to go for a 1st and goal. The ball actually just inside the 7.
And they're thinking touchdown here. If they have to settle for a field goal, New Orleans could still tie with a touchdown.
The Saints have to come up with a play here. Danielson's going to call a timeout. He'll have 2 remaining. He saw something he didn't like, John.
He read something. He read a safety blitz there, and I think it was a fake of a safety blitz. He audibilized, they jumped out of it, and he called timeout to come talk on the sideline.
If anyone looks forward to the start of a new day, it's a Big A Auto Parts store, because each new day is filled with such challenging customer requests for quality parts and friendly service. Take yesterday, for example.
Battery.
Got an oil filter for a Ferrari?
Do you hook the black one to the plus or minus?
I need heavy-duty shocks.
A muffler for a Merc.
Boy, have you got metric tools.
Quality parts, friendly service. That's Big A.
Have you got a cup of coffee?
Sure.
The hard-working auto parts store.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, California style. In California, they don't follow trends, they set them. So people out here don't wait for the weekend to have a Michelob. They enjoy that smooth and mellow Michelob taste whenever and wherever they please.
Put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
Tonight on CBS starts with a brand new edition of 60 Minutes, followed by Archie Bunker's Place, One Day at a Time, Alice, Jeffersons, and Copper John M.D. It's all tonight right here on CBS, and this is maybe the whole ball game here. If the Lions would take it in, John, it would put the Saints out of it. But if they make them settle for the field goal, they're very much in this game.
Very interesting.
3rd down, 4 to go. Sims goes in motion. Danielson back. Broken up, a flag. Dave Waymer guilty of pass interference on Fred Scott. And that'll be a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
And that was a play that they could ill afford. Of course, you can't have a penalty anytime, but that one is sure a killer, as we see it here again. See, he really has Waymer beat by a step. He goes up to it. Now, he can't hit the man before the ball gets there.
Also, you cannot do any face guarding. We have a man shaking up, Reggie Mathis, who is down now for the Saints at the 10-yard line. He was off earlier and came back.
Looks like the same type of thing. It may be a cramp. It looks like they're trying to get a cramp out of his leg. I think that first time he did have a cramp, and he may have the same thing again.
Well, Dave Waymer, the rookie from Notre Dame, their 2nd-round draft pick. And that's one play that he just soon forget about. 3 minutes, 46 seconds left in this game. The Lions now have it. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
No experience, no job. I could do that job, but who'd give me the chance?
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
We don't ask for experience.
We give it.
You won't read it in a book.
You live it.
Pick a service, pick a challenge, set yourself apart.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. What a great place. It's a great place to start.
And more. AC Delco's a whole line of hard-working replacement parts.
AC Delco, working hard for you.
For over 50 years, hard-working people have relied on AC Delco Parts Co-outlet for his special key play offer.
Well, Seattle, who defeated Washington, and Houston losing today to Cleveland, 27-3.
Seattle just has a tough time putting a lot of things together week after week. Look at this score.
Kansas City, that would be 2 losses in a row for Houston. And the Jets, well, they're trying to win their first, and Atlanta needs to win that to stay even with the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh.
And this one is a real surprise to me.
It was just tied, 24-24. Oakland just scored on a Kenny King run.
That is with Jim Plunkett at quarterback.
That's right.
Pass Pastorini out.
They felt all along that Jim Plunkett could do it, or still do it, and I guess he's proven today that he can.
Well, Reggie Mathis is having a tough time. We believe it's a cramp out there, as they've been trying to massage that leg. Be the 2nd time that he's had to leave the football field. What it is now is a 1st and goal at the 1 for the Detroit Lions with 3:46 left in this game. We just had a pass interference on Dave Waymer, trying to defend against Freddie Scott. And this crowd here, they're loving every minute of it. There has been so much excitement here. They have a song here called Another One Bites the Dust. It was sung by the rock group Queen, and they'll start singing that and carrying on. They have feather dusters, and the excitement here in Detroit has been a long time coming. They haven't had a winner for so many years.
They'll start doing that. Monty Clark was saying the other day that he hates that song. He hated it when they were doing it. He said, but you know, I would sure like to hear it again.
Well, the thing about Monty Clark is that he's all business, but I tell you what, as he said, he'll take anything when they're winning.
He'll take anything. Last week, they got beat. He didn't even want to see the film. He said he just took it, he threw it away and said, the heck with that one, let's get going again this week.
Right. I don't think you ever did that in your entire coaching career, did you?
Well, what I used to do is I would watch it first, then I would make a big emotional show and throw it away.
But you duplicated the film before.
Right.
So Mathis goes out. The Lions with a 1st and goal at the 1. Boy, this has been a tough battle in Detroit. Monty Clark said it very well. It's going to get tougher and tougher because we're drawing more and more attention to our football team. At the 1-yard line. And what happened there? Danielson, a mishandled snap, and that was what plagued this team a week ago. Willie Parker is the man in at center, and boy, that came at the worst time as far as Detroit is concerned.
I'll tell you, you take that snap from center to be an automatic thing, and it's not here. We just looked like it didn't get up to Danielson. Sometimes those centers, especially on short yardage and goal line, they get down there, they're anxious to get started, to fire out, and they don't get the ball all the way back up to the quarterback hands, and I bet that's what happened on that play.
Their regular center, Amos Fowler, has a broken leg, so they've had to go with Tommy Ginn and now Willie Parker. They lost a yard, 2nd and goal. There's Sims trying to take it in, and there's no signal for the touchdown. It'll be a 3rd down. Boy, did he get up in the air and get turned around.
How do you think those officials mark something like this?
I don't know.
Watch it again. See, he starts in here. Watch his jumping ability. He takes off with both feet, then comes down again. The rule is that the ball has to cross the plane of the goal line. You see what happened? He went in feet first. He went in a somersault, and the ball stayed back. So it's where the ball is.
All right, big play, 3rd down. They don't want to have to settle for a field goal. This is Sims again, and he's in. Billy Sims, like he was catapulted out of a cannon, takes it in. And Sims with a 2nd touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
Watch this one. The line does a good job of taking off, staying low. There's no doubt that the ball goes into the end zone on that one. Like you said, Billy Sims did look like he was shot out of a cannon.
And so the Lions, who are looking for their 5th win in 6 outings, now have added to their advantage, 23-13. Murray, the point after attempt. Sims can do it all, can't he? Catch the ball, play in your goal line situation, go wide, run up the middle.
You probably don't even care if he can block or not.
I got the feeling he'd do that if you asked him to.
He probably could. He's good at saying we're number 1, and I'm sure he's helping the Detroit Lions be number 1. But watch this explosion he has. Watch here. Both feet take off, and he doesn't come down until about 5 yards later.
Yeah, there was no question. A 70-yard drive. Of course, the big play was that 3rd down, a pass interference to set it up 1st and goal at the 1. That drive took almost 6 minutes, 5:53 to be exact.
You know, Rick Kane, who ran back that kickoff return, which was a big play in this game, is from the same town that I'm from, Pleasanton, California. I used to watch Rick Kane when he was in high school, but I was talking to him yesterday about Billy Sims, and I said, what about Billy Sims? And he said, I'll tell you about Billy Sims. He said he's a nice guy. I think that's a great thing. There's players, and we know he can run, he can catch, he can do all those things, but being a nice guy is something. And there's another nice guy. We talked to him yesterday, and weren't you impressed with him?
I really was. He really has his head on his shoulders. He was talking about being passed over in the draft, but he was playing with a running type offense at that time as you look at the drive of 70 yards. And Danielson said that he went to the World Football League, and that was one of the best things he ever did. He kind of got it all together and came here, and they knew they had a football player, even though he missed all of last year. Murray kicking off. Galbraith picks it up at the 30-yard line, and Galbraith brings it out to the 35, and Archie Manning has a lot of catching up to do. Down 24-13 with 2:47 left. Manning is 19 of 28, 237 yards. Chandler, by the way, has 6 catches today for 106 yards.
And he may be thinking of Chandler now. What they have to think with 2 minutes, 47 seconds, they have to think, get the first one. Don't worry about the second one. Get the first one. Then I'm sure they'd be thinking onside kick and then go get the final one. But don't think that you're 2 touchdowns down. Get one first.
Manning back to throw on first down if he can find any time, but he can't. A loss at the 30-yard line. That's Al Baker. Boy, he is something.
Again, we'll see a formation here as we watch Chandler. They had 2 tight ends in there, 2 wide receivers, which does spread the line defense out. Look at that Chandler go. Of course, that would have had to been something where he could have just thrown the ball out to him, but he didn't have time.
A loss back to the 30-yard line. Second down, 15. Manning has time. Off to Galbraith. Galbraith, 35. Up to the 40-yard line. He's still 4 yards short of the first down. Stan White with a tackle, and Kansas City did it. They defeated the Oilers.
Kansas City had a slow start, but they've come back. They've put 2 wins together back-to-back. Here we see the formations. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers.
Wait a minute. They're going to stop it because the 2-minute warning is here. 2 minutes remaining in this game. The Saints somehow trying to pull it out, trailing 24-13.
Introducing the revolutionary twin action shaving system engineered to outperform twin blades. The new Norelco Rotatract razor. Inside 3 floating heads, Rotatract works like twin blades to grip hair. Raise it up, then razor it off hundreds of times a second for a shave that's twin blade close without a nick or cut. The new twin action Norelco Rotatract razor. Cord and rechargeable. Twin blade closeness, but no gotcha.
Lincoln Mercury introduces the totally new Lynx. Its hemispherical head engine, advanced transmission, and aerodynamic shape combine to produce exceptional fuel efficiency. Starting today.
2 minutes left. Detroit with a 24-13 lead. We come back. It's 3rd down 5 for the Saints at their own 40-yard line. Archie Manning has played remarkably well. 20 of 29 for 247 yards. However, he's been sacked 5 times. As that Silver Rush now has 20 for the year. And they are starting to look like the Silver Rush of the 2 previous campaigns.
Watch him come on this play.
Only 1 running back. That's Galbraith. Manning has the time. Icarus, and that'll be a first down at the 42-yard line. And they have another play called. They're not huddling up. The Saints have 3 timeouts remaining. The ball at the 42-yard line. Harris getting some information from Manning. He's out of your picture at the bottom of the screen. Chandler at the top. First down. Manning hits Galbraith. Galbraith to the 30. Galbraith to the 25. Galbraith to the 21. First down.
I like this formation that the Saints are in now because they are doing a good job of spreading the field out again with their 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. The last couple of plays, the tight ends have been open, and I wouldn't be surprised to see after this timeout, I wouldn't be surprised to see Archie Manning go to one of his 2 tight ends.
And that was the Saints' first timeout. They have 2 remaining as Dick Nolan over there with Manning. And that's the thing about New Orleans. They're not an easy team to contain in this type of situation. They have so much firepower. They score here, and with 1:29, you can look for the onside kick, and who knows? It's been a funny day in the NFL anyway.
Right, and it's been a funny day here today. We've had a number of different type things happen, and I'm sure that the Saints are going to go all out. You know, they would anyway, but this game is so important to them because they've had those tight games or close games, and they've always been terrible after one of them. And you know, a loss today would put them 0-6, but the other thing it would do next week, they may again revert to not being
right. They
as
play
good
Atlanta
a football
next week,
team.
which
right.
is a very tough game for them. Of course, Detroit will play at Chicago at the 22. First down, 1:29. Again, the Saints with 2 timeouts remaining. They trail 24-13. A very entertaining football game here before this sellout crowd. Manning Looking around, see if he has everything set. He's ready. And he's dropped immediately. What a play. Excellent defensive rush by Dave Purifoy. Boy, he got there in a hurry, didn't he? And now Manning is ready to go again. A loss back out to the 31. That's the 6th sack of the day for the Detroit Lions.
Dave Purifoy went right by Dave Lafari.
Boy, did he ever. Manning back. He hits Brooks Williams. He gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:16. Get some of that yardage back to the 25, but they're still some 13 yards away from a first down. Brooks Williams, it's a guy that just never did play in the past. He waited his time, and he's getting the opportunity now. Holmes will come in. Galbraith will check out.
We'll see the 2 tight ends there. We'll see Brooks Williams is running an out to this side. And again, he has 2 plays really to get that 13 yards, and he's going to have to think upfield. I would like to see him work the 2 tight ends, not just one of them, but both of the tight ends inside the numbers.
Well, he has 2 of them in now, Childs and Williams. Manning, what's he doing? Is he changing the play?
Yes, he is.
3rd down, 13. Wait a minute. They didn't get that play off in time. That's going to be a delay of game. 5-yard penalty. They took too long changing the play, and so they'll lose 5 yards. Now Galbraith will come in. Holmes will check out.
And Archie's telling someone to get out of there. He's telling Brooks Williams to get out of there. I don't think he wants that 2 tight end formation.
By the offense, it's still 3rd down.
Strawn comes in. One of the tight ends checking out. That would be Williams.
You know what probably happened on that play? He only had 1 running back in the backfield, and he probably thought that he had 2. He called a play for 2, got up to the line and saw that he only had 1, a different formation, and so he had to audibilize, and that took the time.
Harrison Chandler split out. 3rd down, now 18 to go. Manning to Icaris at the 10, and that is a 1st and goal. He got enough for the 1st and goal. James Hunter with the tackle, and a timeout now called by New Orleans. They have 1 remaining. Icaris making a very difficult and a very punishing catch on that play.
You know, whatever happens here, Archie Manning has had a fine day. He told me that he pulled that tricep muscle a week ago in practice, played last week, aggravated it, couldn't throw much this week. He couldn't really put anything on it, but he still wanted to practice. He said, today I'm going to go out there, not worry about it, just play the game. And I'll tell you, he's put in a remarkable performance.
He really has. He's done an excellent job. We've had some people also doing an excellent job. Our executive producer, Charles Milton III. Our producer, David Fox. Our director, Robert Fishman, who again is on loan from the NFL today.
Right.
Brought him into the Detroit area. And I want to correct one thing. I didn't give David Fox credit for the fact that he had that isolation play on the controversial catch by Icaris.
Right.
He doesn't do a lot of things right, but we want to give him credit for that, right?
Right. He says he has 1 isolation, and it's a good one, and he doesn't even get credit for it. But he deserves it, David, and you have it. We're relaxed.
Thank you, man. By the way, listen to these stats on number 8. Archie Manning is 24 of 33, 309 yards. Now, he had 314 yards in a losing cause to San Francisco earlier this year.
And that 24 of 33 has come without a great deal of pass protection.
That's right. He's been sacked 6 times in this game. Manning back. Look out. He's hit from behind, but it is almost caught, is it? Galbraith says he has it. Does he?
The Saints say that they do, and the officials say no, that they didn't say anything. The official did not make a signal. He didn't say no, but he didn't say yes. This will be an interesting one to watch here, because the official didn't say that it was an incomplete pass, nor did he say it was a touchdown. Watch it here as it comes down. They're both going for it.
Oh, boy.
Well, that is a very tough one there, but still the officials, we see him come in there. He's not saying that it's incomplete, nor is he saying that it's a touchdown. I guess that means it's incomplete.
Boy, Manning really got belted on that play, and it was up for grabs. That was Al Baker that hit him from the blind side. So it's 2nd and goal to 10, 57 seconds I'll tell you one thing, the Saints are going down fighting, aren't they?
They sure are. They came out fighting in the first part of this game, and they fought all day.
Harris, Chandler, wide receivers. Harris broken up. That was a pretty good play by Walt Williams. He was going for the football. Harris tried to go to it, and it comes to third down.
We'll see it again here. He had hit a slant down here before to Chandler. This time he does the same thing to Harris, and it was just a little behind him. I think he had a little room there to lead Harris in more because there was no safety in the middle.
Third and goal. Some valuable time getting away. 52 seconds now remaining.
Did you see the official at the end of that play? He was signaling incomplete. On the other one, he didn't signal incomplete.
What are you trying to tell me?
I don't know. I've always tried to help them.
Third and goal. A little delay to Strawn, and that's going to take a lot of time. Not sure I understand that.
It's not only taking time, but it took one down that he could have thrown. I would have thought with third down there that he would throw. He had to pick up 10 yards, but that he would throw and think of being able to throw twice. With third down, he didn't have to throw into the end zone. Now, by running the ball, whatever he does here on fourth down, it has to go into the end zone.
That's his last time out. Well, he tried to cross him up, but it did not work. Ball at the 7-yard line. I don't know. You know, you always can find a play somewhere to second guess, but boy, with the time and the fact that they need another score after this, you would think they would have gone in the airways. There's the sideline of Monty Clark with Stan White, Maxie Bond standing down there. Well, what a player he was. You'll see Purifoy, 75, over there. So fourth down. Archie Manning has returned to the huddle. You see LaFari has been going most of the way at tackle along with Sturt. Childs is in there, number 85. We haven't heard from him. He only has 2 catches all year long. Mike Harris and Wes Chandler will be the wide receivers. At the 7, fourth down coming up. This is all a road if the Saints can't take care of this one, if they can't get this one in.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Chandler.
Chandler in motion. Manning rolling. Strawn the man, and he got out of bounds at the 1. Now, the first and goal, where is it?
That'll be very tight. It would have to be right within inches of the goal line to pick up a first down. This will be a very interesting spot and a very interesting measurement.
They didn't get it. According to that official, they didn't get it.
We'll see here. We see Strong running a flat pattern. He does have White beat. He goes and he has to get right within inches there, and that's a very tough one to call. The officials have had their work cut out today. I don't know how they came up with that spot either.
I don't either. 39 seconds left in the game. Now that drive had actually started just about, or that last first down, just about at the 10, right?
Right, and they did have room for a first down, but it was an inches measurement. Now the Saints have to get up there and go after him.
Danielson tries to sneak it out. Remember now, New Orleans has no timeouts remaining, and they'll take a delay of game here and then have to run one more play.
No, they won't have to run another play. I think the official just gave him the start right now, so it's really all over, and Monty Clark is down there waiting for that song that he hates so much, but he loves to hear.
And so the Detroit Lions have bounced back after that setback last week. They go to 5-1, and what a year they seem to be headed for. On the other hand, the Saints, a great effort on their part. It just wasn't enough. They are now 0-6, but they may be the best 0-6 team in a long, long time in the National Football League. 24-13 here at the Silverdome.
toll-free number. It'll answer all your questions and keep you racing day and night. TCR, slotless racing from Ideal. It costs more, but it's worth it.
At JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't give you the business because we want to keep your business.
They didn't sell me the JCPenney battery. They said the 5-year battery was powerful enough for my car. It was.
I thought I needed new shock absorbers. They told me my tires were too hard.
I came in for ordinary radials. I came out with new mileage maker XP all-season steel-belted radials. They steered me right.
JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't steer you wrong.
Welcome to the future. Brought to you by Fidelity Electronics.
I am Fidelity's chess challenger, your computer opponent. Enter your move.
Now, from the future, a new voice sensory chess challenger. A talented opponent that senses your every move, then illuminates and announces its counter move.
Knight takes queen.
At fine stores everywhere. At Fidelity, our most important product is the future.
24-13 the final, and the touchdown that put it on ice was this one by Billy Sims, who ended up with 91 yards on 23 carries. Look at the effort by this rookie from Oklahoma.
Watch him take off. He wasn't going to be denied on this play. Up and over and well into the end zone.
So in 3 occasions this year, Sims has fallen below 100 yards, but 91 hard-earned yards today. And the Lions have won. They are 5-1. For John Madden, I'm Gary Bender saying so long from the Pontiac Silverdome.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the 1981 Lincoln Town Car, the next dimension in luxury automobiles. The new twin-action Norelco Rotor-Tracked Razor. And by AC Delco Division of General Motors. AC Delco Automotive Replacement Parts. Working hard for you. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. This week, 60 Minutes invites you to lunch at the best restaurant in the world. One of 3 brand new stories tonight at 7, 6 Central and Mountain on CBS.